Mike Owens with Inside Fighting here, joined today by Horacio Gutierrez, who is Belal Muhammad's boxing coach, the new welterweight champion of the world. Horacio, great to sit down and chat. How are things with you today?
Thank you, brother, for your time. Thank you so much. I mean, we're just celebrating still, super happy.
How are your emotions after what must have been a very intense, but obviously a very rewarding week in Manchester?
Yeah, it was crazy, like we still like in shock because this is a big deal, but like Belal is the world champion right now, so it's just crazy. We believe in him, and then we put in the work, and he made it happen. And right now, I mean, we're super happy. But don't get me wrong, we're gonna go back to the gym and work double because we know there's people that they wanna take it.
Let's maybe just for the viewers take it back a step. So just so I have my understanding correct, how long have you been working with Belal?
I met Belal, and we started working together like 12 years ago here in Chicago. When I came first, we started as training partners, and slowly, I mean, I was helping him with the boxing because I'm from Mexico. I used to box my whole life over there. And then slowly he was asking me for little tips and stuff. And till right now, like I become his boxing coach and strategy, anything he needs, I help him. And I mean, I think we do like a very good, uh, like we do it very good together, bro.
How much has Bilal's hands or his striking overall improved, and how much has that evolved since you've been working together as in a coach and pupil role?
I mean, Belal is a really complete fighter. He always have like good hands, good wrestling, good everything. It was just like little details that I have been helping him that I think they're taking him to the next level. You can see the improvement of all his fights. It's slowly better, better, better. Then you see Sean Brady, we knock him out. You saw Gilbert, we dominate Gilbert. Then you saw the last fight, we
Mm.
outstrike Leon Edwards, which he's one of the best strikers in the division. So you can see that Belal is getting really, really good with his hands and his strikes.
I'm going to say this now, and I think it's a fair statement because I don't think people give Bilal the respect he deserves, and we'll come on to this in a second. But in my opinion, Bilal has one of the highest fight IQs in the sport. His ability to take people where they don't want to be and dominate them there, or dominate them in their specific area, is second to none. Is that something that is something from you guys as coaches, or is that something that's innate in Bilal?
Obviously, Belal is the one that is fighting inside of the cage. We
Mm.
help him with the strategy, stuff like that, but at the end of the day, he takes his own decisions. So he's a phenomenal fighter. If you see, he can fight, like we can fight putting pressure, we can fight moving around like with Luke,
Mm.
we can fight wrestling, we can fight defending the takedowns like against Damian Maya. He can do everything. That's the thing that he has. He has a gift because when someone is gonna fight Belal, they don't know what he's gonna do because every single fight he does a different style. And I mean, that's the thing that made him so special. Then we're fighting Gilbert, we're fighting Luke, we're fighting all these guys, and then at the end of the fight, Belal just dominate all of them. Like all the rounds he won and everything. And there's always an excuse. Gilbert, I hurt my shoulder. Luke, my rib. Every single person, there's an excuse. Sean Brady, that he was tired because of the jet lag. Little excuses like that. But at the end of the day, Belal just dominates every single one of the fighters that he fights. Like, he's just, I mean, I don't want to talk that much, but I know he's going to be the greatest ever. Just give us a few more years and it's going to happen, man.
We'll be back to the interview in just a second, but first and foremost, college football is finally back, and Inside Fighting are partnered with DraftKings to bring you an incredible new offer. New DraftKings customers who bet $5 will receive $200 in bonus bets instantly, just by signing up using promo code Inside Fighting. Enjoy! In terms of the boxing strategy, looking at this last fight against Leon Edwards, was how much of the strategy was to use the hands for the takedown? Was that kind of the key, is to use the boxing and to use the kickboxing to get inside and then to get those takedowns that Bilal did?
Exactly. Like Leon, he knew that we were gonna try to take him down. So he was getting prepared, take down defense and stuff like that. But he didn't know that we were gonna put the pressure with the boxing, you know. So that was different. We were fighting Leon in really close range, so we took away his kicks. Belal was right there, really close to him, volume, boxing. And then when he started punching Leon, Leon was like, "Oh, damn, what's going on?" So he started like defending the punches, and the takedowns were easy right there. So that was kind of the strategy, and it works perfectly.
You're obviously a UFC veteran. How has your time in the UFC helped you be able to transition to a coaching role? Because these positions that you're talking through with Belal, you've obviously seen and experienced yourself.
Exactly. That's something that helps me a lot because I was a fighter too, you know. So I fought at the highest level in the world, and being there, I know what is he feeling and all the pressure that he has, and how the fight is gonna be inside of the cage, you know. So that's been helping me a lot, that I can understand that part, and I do my homework as well as a coach. I look at. I mean, last fight I was looking at Leon Edwards fights like every single day, like coming with like little details, strategy, stuff like that, and I think. Thankfully, I put it really good together.
I want to bring you back to a clip. I'm sure you know the one I'm referencing where you said that Belal has hands like Canelo, has the Mexican style of boxing. Just first and foremost, can you, in your own words, describe what a Mexican style of boxing? Uh, describe that to me.
Yeah, so now that you brought it up, like I said it, like I believe on it, you know, because I work with him every single day. But a lot of people doubt it, make fun of it, and all
Mm,
that. But after the fight, like people were messaging Belal, messaging me, like, "Hey, bro, I want to train with you, boxing, whatever." So I started boxing when I was 14 years old. Right now I'm 33, so it's almost 20 years that I have been boxing, mostly in Mexico. So the Mexican style, I mean, you stay in the pocket, you choose your punches, you can counter, little stuff like that. If you see Belal was double jabbing, going back, throwing his
mm,
punches, counters, punching to the body, all that stuff, like we're getting Belal like really sharp with his hands. So I mean, there's like the little boxing style that you're not gonna get anywhere else. If you see Belal was punching the body a lot, and
mm.
that's something that in Mexican boxing happens a lot, you know. So I mean, I'm glad he performed it that way, and he proved that he can be one of the best, you know.
Who's the greatest Mexican boxer of all time? It feels like right now the debate is either Canelo or Chavez Sr. Who is there anybody else, or if so, out of those two, who would you say is the greatest Mexican
I
boxer?
mean, yeah, Canelo, Chavez, and I love Marquez.
Mm,
Marquez is one of the best ones. I love his combinations, his counters, how he can stay in this in the inside. I like him a lot, his style, you know. So I follow all those guys, and we try to do like, I mean, with Belal, we just got a boxing gym right in my garage
mm.
because I just got a son. My son is gonna be 1 year old, so it was really hard to travel to all the other gyms, 30 minutes and stuff like that. So we built out a gym in my garage, and we got everything that we need. And I mean, we're training really hard, man. Like Belal, I'm telling you, he's gonna be the best ever, brother.
That clip of you saying that he has hands like Canelo did seem to go a little bit viral, I think, the day that it was posted. Did you expect that to be clipped? And was there any part of you that maybe, dare I say, regretted saying that, in knowing that the way that MMA fans may take that statement?
Yeah, it got viral right away. So I was
Mm,
like, oh damn. But I knew inside of me that Belal was gonna back it up, you know. So I told Belal right after the interview, because he was here in my garage. I told him, "Hey, bro, I talk a big game, but I know you can back it up. So let's make it happen." All right. And then when he got viral and everything, I mean, I didn't feel embarrassed or anything because I knew that Belal was gonna be able to do it. You know, I knew all the work that it was done, so I knew it was gonna happen. I was just waiting a little bit, and right after the fight, everyone got in silence. You know,
mm, mm.
so it was perfect, honestly.
It did feel like being around the hotel and watching the media from that fight. The Leon's team never really seemed to respect Belal. There seemed to be a little bit like to use a boxing term, I felt a little bit like Leon's team were treating this like a mandatory defense. Like we'll get Belal out of the way and then we'll look at the other fights. Did you feel from your perspective that and did that spare Belal on in any way?
So yeah, obviously Leon's team, they were confident. They were in their hometown and
Mm,
everything. They believed that they were gonna win, but I train with Belal every single day. I know the work that he has done, and I knew that the way we were gonna fight Leon, he wasn't gonna be able to figure it out.
mm,
So I was obviously you have like the little nerves because it's a big fight, but I was confident on Belal that he was gonna get the job done. Before the fight, it was 6, 7 weeks that every single day we did the same drills, repetition, repetition, repetition. So I knew it was gonna be natural right there. So yeah, Leon was, I don't know, man. Like Leon, when he was talking on the microphone and stuff like that, he didn't seem confident to me. He was like, whatever, Belal, I'm gonna beat him tomorrow. Like he didn't have too much to say, you know.
Mm.
So, and I saw Belal the whole week. He was like really calm, just waiting for the day of the fight. Even in the locker room, when we were walking out, he was just really confident. The last words that I told him was, Belal, be in the moment. We know how to beat him. If you follow the game plan, we're gonna win. Focus. He looked at me, focus, and then I mean, he make it happen. You know.
And then 30 minutes later, you hear, and the new welterweight champion of the world. Describe to me what that feeling must be to see a guy who you've worked with for so long to finally accomplish his dreams and become the welterweight world champion.
It was crazy. I don't know how to explain you. I was so happy when they were gonna give the decision. Obviously, I knew that we won, but I mean, I'm really happy for him. You know, he's the hardest worker that I know in my life. Even when I was fighting, he was pushing me. Every day he was to do something. He doesn't rest, not even one day a week. He's always training 7 days a week, 2, 3 times a day, every single day. Even in Ramadan, when you know, because he's Muslim, is
Mm.
once 1 month a year that they
Yes.
don't drink water and they don't eat. He's still training, even if he doesn't have a fight. So he's just crazy in the head for training. You know, he's obsessed, and it paid off.
Despite all of what you're saying, I'm going to say this in the next question with the greatest of respect, and you know the respect I have for Belal. But every one of these wins that he gets, as you mentioned, not only do the opponents make excuses, but fans also seem to make excuses, and they don't seem to give him the respect that he deserves. And I don't want to ask you this to put you on the spot, but in your opinion, why do you feel? Do you agree with that? And if so, why do you feel that Belal doesn't get the respect that he deserves?
The thing is that a lot of the fans, they hate because Belal doesn't finish the fights, right?
Mm.
But at the end of the day, he's winning. Show me, put someone in front of Belal that is gonna beat him, and no one's gonna beat him, you know. So the fans, they can talk all they want, but Belal keeps winning, you know. So I, I see that, and it used to bother me a little bit, but right now we're the champion. Who
Mm.
cares? You know, Belal at the end of the day, he keeps winning, he keeps dominating every single guy. I can remember when is the last time before this fight that he lost a round. He
Mm.
lost one round with Leon because he took the bag, but before that, when is the last time that he lost a round? You know, like
Mm.
Belal just is an amazing fighter, man. Like people hate because he doesn't finish the fights, but bro, no one can do anything to him. I haven't seen him hurt. No one can take him down and hold him in the ground. No one is gonna strike him. So people can talk whatever they want. Belal is fighting against the best in the world, and he keeps winning. You know.
In terms of the striking or in terms of the boxing, is that something that you're working on to try and maybe develop KO power or to try and develop shot selections so that those finishes do come, or do you see it as Bilal's the type of fighter that dominates over 25 minutes?
Yeah, yeah. Slowly, you know, you have to adapt to the style of your fighter.
Yeah.
I cannot just ask Belal to sit down on his punches and throw power and stay in
Mm.
the pocket because that's not his style. So we gotta adapt to that. Belal, I mean, 2 fights ago, he finished Sean Brady. He almost finished Gilbert.
Mm.
And I feel that we were really close to finish Leon. So, but remember, man, he's fighting against the best in the
Of
world,
course.
top three.
Of course.
It's not easy to finish those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Of
If you put
course.
Belal the top 15 or whatever, like he's gonna finish them right away in the first, second round, but he's fighting the best in the world. Leon, he just won against Usman, which is one of the best welterweights ever, twice, and finish him, you know. So
Mm.
finishing these guys is not easy, but we're getting the job done, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're working every single day, getting sharp the hands, getting sharp the kicks. We have another coach, the head coach, Coach Mike Valle.
Mm.
His striking is just phenomenal. He helps a lot, Belal, and I mean, I think like together we're doing like a really good job with him.
What would you like to see for him next, and who would you like to see for his first title defense?
Um, I mean, I don't see like a number one contender. I think the next one they're gonna give us probably is gonna be the Russian. I can remember his name,
Shavkat? Shavkat Rakhmonov?
Exactly. I think they're gonna give us that because he's undefeated and he has all finishes and stuff like that. So let's do it. Let's go against him. I don't see no one else. We just won against Leon. Usman has three lose streak, and then Colby he just lost, and he haven't fight in years. So I think he's gonna be the Russian, and I'm really excited to get him ready for that one.
From a striking or a boxing perspective, who has or is impressing you at the 170-pound division for potential future opponents for Belal?
This guy, I think he's from Australia. I can't remember the names to be honest, but
Jack
he has
Della,
really,
Jack Della Maddelena.
yeah, yeah. I like his boxing, honestly. He goes to the body, 2, 3 punches to the body, to the hands. His boxing is really good. If you ask me as a boxing perspective, he has really good boxing, but he has nothing to do with Belal. Like in the cage, Belal, his experience and everything, like he's just another level right now.
Talking about the boxing, there is a debate since Max Holloway claimed himself to be the best boxer in the UFC about who is the best boxer in the UFC. So my question to you as a boxing coach of one of the best fighters in the world, who are some fighters in the UFC who are impressing you with their boxing technique, and what specific techniques are they employing for the MMA setting?
Yeah, Max Holloway, he's a monster, man. His boxing is really good. How he flows, his distance, his counters, he's really, really good. And I want to see him against El Matador, Ilia Topuria, because Topuria, he has a phenomenal boxing as well. His boxing, his punches to the body, his power is gonna be a really, really fun fight to watch. And man, that's gonna be a legit boxing MMA fight. I'm very excited about that one. I think Ilia, one of the best boxers in the whole UFC as well. So let's see who's the best one.
That's probably my most anticipated fight coming up. So, what if you had to give me a prediction for that one? How do you see that one playing out?
I'm gonna give it to Max Holloway decision. I mean, if Ilia touch you, he's gonna knock you out. But I think that Max, he has so much experience and he's way longer than Ilia that he's gonna keep the fight like in long distance and he's gonna throw his body. And that's what I believe, but it's too hard to tell. Ilia is such a great fighter, but I'm gonna give it to Max Holloway by decision.
Back to the boxing debate. If you had to give me, let's say, a top 5 pound for pound ranking of the best boxers in the UFC, who would be on your top 5 list?
I mean, how we just said it, Max Holloway,
Yeah.
Ilia Topuria, this kid that I just told you from Australia, he's really good.
Della. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring, of course, my boy Belal Muhammad. The thing is that with all these guys that I told you, they just box in their fights, So that's how it looks really good. But if I send Belal one fight just to do boxing, Belal is gonna look as good as them. I promise you. But Belal uses his hands to set up the takedowns and stuff like that. So you guys haven't seen him like just boxing, but I'm gonna give it to him. And the last one, man, honestly, he doesn't fight anymore. But I used to like Conor McGregor a lot. He was so smooth. His defense, his distance, his counters. He was one of the best ones for sure.
Yeah. Last question from me, Horacio, and thank you so much for the time. I will leave this one open-ended. You can talk about Belal, you can talk about your career, whatever you may like. But what's next for you?
So I mean, right now we're focusing on Belal. Obviously, we wanna whoever they give us, we're gonna focus on Belal. We're gonna do the strategy, and we're gonna go there and defend the belt. And honestly, I mean, right now my whole focus is Belal. To be honest with you, I see the potential that he has. Look at his records. So it's George St. Pierre, and I think below him is Belal. To be honest, in the greatest welterweights ever. So we're gonna focus on Belal, get him better, get better every single day, and we'll see what happens. We don't even know. Maybe we fight with the middleweights for the double title, So right now we're just gonna focus on Belal, and we'll see what happens later on.
100%. Well, thank you so much for the time. I know that we've been trying to find the date since the fight, and I know that you've been very busy. I saw you enjoying a little bit of Europe, jetting off around Croatia as well. So I hope you enjoyed the celebrations after the fight. Thank you so much for the time, and look forward to seeing yourself and Belal back in action soon.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thanks for your time.